How is it going, guys? Today we are taking care of an issue that I ran into the last time we were working on the WRX. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, check it out above. But what ended up happening was when I went to take the wheels off of the car to install some wheel spacers, well, I wasn't able to because all 4 of the wheel locks that were installed by the dealership refused to come off. And this is a pretty common occurrence in Subarus. I see snapped wheel studs all the time. Some people think it's because of the quality of wheel studs they use, or the coating on the lug nuts comes off and gets into the threads and causes them to seize up. Either way, all I know is I'm gonna be taking the wheels on and off this car quite a bit. So it's not something that I wanna have to deal with on a reoccurring basis. So we're gonna be swapping out all the OEM wheel studs with some ARP studs. I'll show you exactly how it's done, and then we can see how the car looks with some wheel spacers. All right, I have not touched these since that video. Some of you recommended that I use an impact and it'll come right off, even though I don't think you're supposed to use an impact on wheel locks. We're gonna give it a go. Other people said I need a bigger breaker bar. I don't have a bigger breaker bar, so we're gonna just use a jack handle instead, which was also recommended. Who knows, maybe it'll come right off and I'll look like a complete buffoon. Either way, I'm still gonna show you how to install the ARP wheel studs. But let's start with the impact. Get the key lined up there. Okay, here we go. I should wear hearing protection. Okay, I don't think that's gonna do it. It's turned all the way up and it's not budging. That's not happening. Let's try the old jack handle breaker bar. I need to go get a socket real quick, hold on. All right, here we go. I'll get the jack handle on here, and I put some gloves on just in case I jam my hand into the ground. I do not have a good feeling about this. I think it's turning. Okay, it's turning. I think it's loosening up. We might be okay on this one. Oh, look at that. I just needed to use more leverage. At least on this one, but these are definitely not going back on there. All right, let's see if we have the same luck with the rest of them. It's turning, so that's a good start. Okay, I think we're gonna be okay. I'm just an idiot. I've got all 4 of the wheel locks safely removed from the car. Turns out I just need to work out more, or work out, period. All jokes aside, hopefully you guys can appreciate me leaving it all out there. Even when I'm wrong, I can admit it. Nobody is perfect, so feel free to leave me all the crap in the world in the comment section down below. But let's move on to the ARP wheel studs. These wheels off. Once the wheels are off the car, we need to remove the brake caliper and the rotors, and that's gonna give us full access to those wheel studs. I'm gonna start in the front because it's the easier out of the 2. Towards the back of the strut, you're gonna see this bracket here that has a 12mm bolt holding the brake line in place. We're gonna remove that to give us more slack, so when we take the brake caliper off, we're not gonna put any stress on that brake line. I'm gonna put the bolt back in place just so we don't lose it. For the brake caliper, we've got 2 19mm bolts, one on the bottom here and one on the top. Once we get these off, we can slide the caliper off the rotor. we'll slide this off, and I'm just gonna set this right on the lower control arm. With the brake caliper out of the way, we can pull the rotor off. Now, since this is a new car, it should come off easily, but if for some reason yours seems stuck on there and doesn't want to budge, you'll see these two threaded holes here. You can actually take the bolt that was holding the brake line in place, or a bolt with the same thread pitch, and thread this into those holes, and that's gonna push the rotor off of the hub to pop it free. But like I said, in our case, this should slide right off. The wheel studs are fully exposed now, so we're gonna take a big old hammer and hammer these out. You're gonna wanna hammer the one that's in this location here at the rear most of the car, because there's this big opening for it to come out. And obviously be careful not to hit anything in this area when you're doing so. All right, here we go. We're gonna be replacing the wheel studs with some ARP wheel studs that are the same length. Now, they also make extended wheel studs if you happen to be installing the traditional style wheel spacer that just slides onto the existing wheel studs. That's not our case, so I just went with the standard size. An important tool that I would highly recommend is this wheel stud installer tool. This is gonna save you a lot of time. It's essentially a big bearing. So you'll get the new stud into place. This will slide over the stud, and then you take a lug nut, thread that on there, and then you can either tighten it down by hand or use an impact to tighten it down, and it's gonna pull the stud through until it bottoms out on the back of the wheel hub, and then you can loosen it up and then do the next one. Saves you a whole lot of time. If you're cheap, you can just use a stack of washers. But again, highly recommend this. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to pick one of these up. All right, here we go. Let's get these installed. The new wheel studs are installed, so we can slide the rotor back into place, get the brake caliper installed, and then we can move to the rear. Moving to the rear, the process is pretty much the same thing, just different size bolts. You still have a 12mm bolt holding the brake line in place, but the two bolts for the brake caliper are 17mm bolts instead of the 19 up front. You wanna make sure that your e-brake is off, otherwise you're not gonna be able to pull the rotor off. And then if you're installing extended wheel studs, there's a trick I'll show you that'll make it a little bit easier. In the front, it's not a big deal because there's a bunch of room, but in the back, it's a little bit tighter. We'll take the 12mm bolt off first. You're also gonna see this black and orange cable here on the passenger side. On the driver's side, it's a different color, but this goes down and connects to a sensor that's held in place with that 10mm bolt down there. Go ahead and remove that and pull this up and out so it doesn't get caught on the brake line when we move the caliper. Same thing for the brake caliper in the rear, two bolts this time around. They are 17mm bolts. And again, I'm just gonna set this on top of the upper control arm this time. We can slide the rotor off. Again, make sure that your e-brake is off. And then we can get to hammering. Now, when we hammer these out, because we have the e-brake assembly here, you want to be really careful what location you're hammering out. I've found that the forward most bottom corner right here has the most room behind it, so you can safely hammer these out without damaging any of the components back here. So just pay attention to that. And again, be careful not to hit this area. Now this is where it's going to differ depending on whether you're installing the same size wheel studs or extended wheel studs. If you're installing the same size, you can just sneak these back through the hole where you got the OEM ones out, and there's enough room for you to install them. But if you're installing extended wheel studs, there's not enough room back here, especially for the 3-inch ones, to get the stud through the hole. So what you end up having to do, the easy way anyway, is to remove the 4 14mm bolts that are holding the hub in place, and that allows you to pull the hub slightly out to give you enough room to sneak those wheel studs in there. I did the same thing on my FRS. If you guys want to see that process, I'll link that video up above. But since we have the same size wheel studs, I don't have to deal with that. Here's a quick but very important piece of information. If you are installing the extended wheel studs and you're slightly pulling that hub out, make sure you do not forget to remove that sensor I showed you earlier. Otherwise, if you forget to do that and you're pulling the hub out, you're gonna risk damaging that sensor, so do not forget that. Now I've got all of the wheel studs installed now, so I'm gonna get the rotor back on, caliper in place, and let's take a look at these wheel spacers. So this is the Aeroflow Dynamics hub-centric wheel spacer. It's obviously 5x114, otherwise it wouldn't fit. It's 20mm thick, so it's gonna turn the +55 offset on the stock wheel into essentially a +35 offset. So bring it out more flush with the fender. Also make it seem like there's a little bit less wheel gap. Overall looks a lot better because it doesn't look as sunken in. It's also very simple to install. Just slides over the wheel studs like so. Comes with some open-ended lug nuts that install onto there, and make sure you torque these down to the proper specs. And then there are pre-installed wheel studs pressed in that you'll install the wheel onto just like normal. Now I'm running out of daylight here, so I'm gonna go ahead and install these on this side of the car, leave the other side stock, do a walk around, see if you can see the difference, and then I'll take some before and after photos so you can clearly see the difference. For the front, when you're torquing these lug nuts down, since it's gonna just spin when you try and torque them down, I recommend having someone sit in the car and step on the brake. That way you can properly torque it down. And then obviously for the rear, you can just pull the e-brake. Now you guys are probably like, Kevin, why aren't you using freaking power tools? Why are you using hand tools like an idiot? Well, it's like 10 o'clock and I don't want to piss my neighbors off. All right guys, it's getting too dark. It probably doesn't look like that because I've boosted it up in camera, but like I said, it's about 9:30, 10-ish. So what I'm gonna do is get the last wheel spacer on this side installed, get the wheel back on, and then we'll come back tomorrow morning, lower the car on the ground, do the walk around, and get the before and after photos. I finally got the car on the ground, so let's take a quick look at the differences. On the passenger side, we have the spacers installed, and on the driver's side, it is stock. So let's take a look at the stock side first. As I come around the side of the car, you'll notice that the wheel looks tucked behind the fender. And then if I go over to the side with the spacer installed, as I go past the side of the car, you can see the wheel is right there, flush with the fender. Basically, right with the body lines of the car. So if we go to the back, it's even more prominent. Again, on the driver's side, this is the stock. Looks really tucked in there in the rear because of the hips. But on passenger side, As we go past, the wheel is flush with that fender. Looks a whole lot better. Let's get some before and after photos. Well guys, were you able to notice a difference? Comment down below letting me know what you think. Personally, I definitely noticed a difference, and I think this is a great option for those of you who are looking to stick with the stock wheels. It gives the car a bit more of an aggressive appearance, and it's gonna look even better if you lower the car a bit, and they're super easy to install. If you guys wanna pick up a set for yourself, the link is down in the description, and you can use my code KevinVo for 5% off your order on Aeroflow Dynamics website. Now, as for the ARP wheel studs, those are pretty simple to install as well, even if it's your first time. And it's gonna give me the peace of mind knowing that they're stronger than the OEM wheel studs. So when I go to take the wheels on and off, I'm not gonna have to worry about it so much. But that is gonna do it for today, guys. Hopefully this video helped you learn something new or helped you during an install. If you guys are enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.